Hey, Dennis, did Arizona change time? Then he said no. So it's 12:30 there. So I'm in Germany. Oh shit. So anyway, tomorrow 11 p.m. a.m. PST, and then he said okay 12. He said good.
Yeah.
I discussed this yesterday.
I didn't know that you guys changed the time. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to, point out.
Yesterday I said 11, didn't I? I told you guys 12 o'clock today.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but so it's 11.
So I should have left it at 11, which would have been 10 o'clock for you guys.
No, you didn't, because you went to train. You finished.
Yeah, but you still got an extra hour, and you can watch the game on the side. How you doing, Chris?
How you doing, brother? Good.
When did you get home?
That night, Sunday night, around 8, Sunday night.
Oh, okay. So you've been going too.
Yeah.
So I came home. I had to fly to Dallas. Then from Dallas, I had to catch a flight from straight to Frankfurt. So it's a 9-hour flight. I probably slept 6 hours. Yeah. And then I get out the airport, and then I'm like, fuck, on the way I got off the plane. So I should I take a piss? Because I felt a little bit, but it wasn't bad. So I said, nah, I can piss outside somewhere.
Oh, so, man. Hey, that was me.
So check this out. So I walked towards the customs. First you get to where they do passport control, right? And if you've been to Germany, so you get down to this room, and this is a big room, and they got this fucking robe. Yeah. So, and it was maybe, because I was in business, I was one of the first people out of the plane. Right. So there was maybe 15, 20 people ahead of me. But there was 12 counters, and only one was occupied.
Oh, no.
The last time I told you about the damn bags, 2 hours. And this time so it took fucking forever. And this dude, they don't hurry up. They don't give a shit how long you stand. They're just making sure they get their 8 hours in so they can go home. So I'm halfway through, and I'm like, I gotta pee, man. I'm like, if it takes the same time as until now, I said, I gotta go. So I had to get out. I had to walk back upstairs to find the fucking toilet. There was no toilet downstairs in that area. So when I come back, there must have been like 2 planes coming off. I come back, there must have been 400 people.
Oh my God.
I was in I was in the line for 2 hours, almost 2 hours. And they never opened up another fucking window.
Still.
I was like, this is unbelievable. Then I get fucking out. Now I'm 2 hours, almost 2 hours after we landed. The bag's not even on the fucking carousel.
No, they took him somewhere.
No, it's the same issue. No bags.
Oh, really?
They kept saying, yeah, we apologize for the inconvenience, but your bag's going to come out delayed. So then I get a fucking message from American Airlines on the app saying that my bag is delayed. My bag is still in Dallas.
Oh, no.
So now I got to get in line to fucking claim my bag.
With those hundreds of people?
No, they were probably like 4 or 5 ahead of me. But this is even slower because they're going to have to write down what was in the bag.
You went from Florida back to Dallas and then to Germany?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Because the first flight, because there's no direct flight from Orlando to Germany. Yeah, there is one with Eurowings, and I don't fly Eurowings. That shit doesn't even go all the way back. There's no blankets and no thick pillows. I can't do that. I need to have my little suite. Anyway, so I'll fill this shit out, no bag. They said your bag will get there tomorrow. So today they called me at 10 in the morning, said your bag arrived. It will be there throughout the day. Now it's fucking 8 o'clock and I'm still don't have my bag. That was my trip. Other than that, and then I drove the rental car back home, and it's a 40-minute drive. After the last 20 minutes, I never suffered so much in my life. I almost passed out to the point where my car sounded alarm and showed me a fucking coffee sign and told me to take a coffee break.
Oh, yeah.
I was all over the fucking, I was so tired. I rolled the window down. I stuck my head out. I was like, fuck, how can I be so tired? Tired, bro. Shit. And then I slept last night from 8:30 till 7 this morning.
Yeah. Chris, I was driving Dennis and his brother from Olympia, from Vegas back to California.
Oh.
They were all snoozing, right? and I fall asleep.
Milos was, I had no idea. I was so full of food. I was sleeping. Milos was tired as fuck because he didn't sleep. He don't.
Yeah.
How many hours did you get the whole week you were in
I
Orlando?
mean, you know how it is when you guys are competing Friday and Saturday. I had a few guys, you and you don't sleep.
Oh, but this weekend,
That's me to drive. Fuck.
this whole week in Orlando, you had 2 guys in the show.
Yeah.
If you count the hours you slept, how many did you get 20 hours in the week?
3-4 hours a night. Yeah, that would be it. Yeah, really.
That's more than I thought you had.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, they're just like wiped out. But you know how it is.
Yeah.
You have to do what you have to do, and then there's extra worry, and then there was a pressure because let's put it this way: legitimately, I had a Olympia contender that can win.
Mhm.
There was only like, okay, bring him on the stage as everybody wanted to see, like, oh yeah, just get him slice and dice, and then he wins. And then we were looking and compromising and thinking and this and that. So you just right decision. Look, you know how it is. Bring him dry, bring him dry, bring him dry. We can all add more diuretics. So you guys are coaches. How do you bring somebody drier? You dry him with a fan. You do what? You go to saunas, or
Do like Chris, and throw them in the dryer.
when you're fully loaded with the tan and all this stuff. So basically, being drier means cutting
Right
more
foods, everything.
diuretics, right? And I mean, I discussed this many times. I've seen Benaziza died in front of my eyes. I've been with Mustafa Mohammed twice in a hospital when there was critical due to diuretics. You met Steve Brisboe over there, right?
Mhm.
Quit bodybuilding because he saw what happened and he didn't want to risk his life anymore.
Oh, that was for him the reason to quit.
Yeah. Him and Thierry Postel, pretty much, they were friends with Benaziza. You've seen Paul Dillette being, carried off the stage. You know that Mike Materazzi was rushed to the hospital. I've run to Sonny Schmidt's room when he is locked up like you can't even believe, right? Things of that nature. So you're trying to, play it safe and still push it and these kind of things. So for me, there was for SAMSON, they say, look, just look like Arnold Classic and a little bit better, and that would be enough. That's how we took it. And
Did you? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
I know when we talk even after Friday, right? And Chris made a point. You have to be dry from front to back, top to bottom, and all that stuff, and then you can win the shows. I thought that SAMSON had enough to win. They didn't see it that way. Top 3 in the world, he's delighted. I mean, I haven't been top 3 to even realize.
The only one that knows how that feels is Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, you were 4th.
I was close. I was close,
You were
but I
so
didn't
close.
get top 3.
Yeah, I mean, and SAMSON is delighted that he's climbing up, but there is always that like, oh, he could have done more.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that this 3rd place this year will help him, give him all the motivation he needs for next year.
100%. Yeah.
So, did you hear from anybody that he was better at the Arnold?
No, I heard from Tyler Mannion right in front of me when he came to SAMSON to tell him, okay, how close he was, how good he is, and that he's improved, from Arnold. That's coming from, and that's why I want Tyler, or Steve to be in our show. So, I'm always going to be biased, coach. And then whatever I say, it's going to be discredited because
no, it's not true. Not true. Just because you're biased doesn't mean you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, of course.
Saying.
As I was telling you, and probably he was the best bodybuilder on that stage, for me, just looking at him, the size, the shape, the thickness, the balance, so then how do you judge? Okay, you need to be 12 ounces less water and 1% less body fat, or
This is a matter of opinion, and in your opinion, he was the best on that stage. In the judge's opinion, he was the 3rd best.
Yeah, but okay.
You just have to take that.
I don't know if you analyze. There is 9 judges.
I stopped analyzing.
You know,
You know,
I do.
Because
But-
many times I don't understand how this happens.
4 judges gave him second place at prejudging. 4 out of 9.
Mhm.
But you had 2 highs, 2 lows. Then these 2, had a 13 points. That means that 4 out of 9, half panel, saw him second. Second to who? Second
How
to
many, how many judges is total?
9. And
So
2
the high 2 and 2 go the highest and the
Yeah.
lowest?
yeah. So if you're third place, you get a 15 points.
Mhm.
So if you have a 13 points, that means that 2 of the judges give you the second place.
Not
Or
four, not-
one judge gave you the first place and 1 second.
yeah,
Okay.
but not 4 seconds. I think he said before 4 judges gave him second place.
Yeah, 4, because 2 are erased and 2 accounts.
Well, we don't. Well, yeah.
It's 4 judges. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, put this in perspective. So it's not like he was out of contention and he was not there. He was.
Well, I mean, if you look at the points, he wasn't close to content. Not by points.
Dennis, I completely disagree with this. If it's 5 points, no, because you can be hair better, you can get a straight first, and it's super close.
I know, but what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say is because if he got second places, doesn't mean he was contending for first.
Hold
He
on,
was contending for second.
that's like UFC split decision. You've
But
seen
you
the
can't-
3 rounds, and
Hmm.
one judge saw you winning, 2 judges saw you losing. It's exactly like this.
I
It's
know,
like
but
class.
if he would have had some first place votes, I would have said, okay, he was
Yeah.
content.
maybe he did. You know,
Yeah.
maybe he did. If you think about it, one first and 1 second.
But
they were-
definitely not on Saturday.
And the second, yeah, Saturday, like he didn't improve. They asked him to improve, you know, or he didn't improve enough. You know, so, again,
I gotta say this though. I gotta say this, Chris. You can talk too if you want. You know, I mean,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was waiting for you guys to fucking stop playing volleyball.
I'm just saying you're invited.
Play volleyball so I can fucking double dutch
I'm
inside.
gonna throw a ball at you in a second. I tell you this. For me, Samson looked good. He looked great. But when I saw him backstage Saturday, I got close.
Huh?
I saw how much better he looked than when I saw him on stage. I don't know why, for whatever reason, he looks better if you're close to him and you can really see detail that you can't see when he's on stage.
Yes, you know what? That's a great point, Dennis, because I saw some photos and I never really got close to him backstage, but I saw photos that were really good photos, really close up. I could see all the amazing detail
Yes.
that was throughout the chest, throughout the body that
Legs.
I couldn't tell from, the legs, that I couldn't tell from my seat. And I
I
don't have the best
same here.
seat.
I was in the second row and I couldn't see it.
And then the
Backstage,
where the judges are sitting, where the judges are
Backstage,
sitting, dead
This
on.
dude was not just hard, fucking big. You don't really see the size until you get close to him and you see how fucking big his arms are. Because I still remember what Dorian said. He needs big arms.
Now, let me.
His arms look legitimate for 23s.
I think I can explain on Dorian's behalf
Yeah, please.
is that you have this big body. You have the mass from the waist down to his feet. It's a different looking mass than there is from the upper body to his head.
Mhm.
And you can see it's
I
evident.
get that he says his legs is overpowering. I don't see it like that. I
I think it's on the
don't.
body. It's not like, okay, I'm gonna measure it and it's gonna be whatever, but what it looks like
Hmm.
from
No, I got I understood what he meant.
and
I
then
did-
when he's like this, the arm is huge, and it looked like when he hits that front double bicep.
That's true.
It's
When
not
he
the
does the front
same-
double biceps, Hardy's arms look bigger than Samson's, and I can vouch that they are 100% not even close to Samson's size.
Right.
But it's the shape of the biceps. Samson's bicep shape is not that outstanding. It doesn't stand out. I don't know how Hardy's stand out. It looked to me like there's a little bit in there. You know what I'm saying? To get that peak, because it's not shredded. You know, the arm is full. it's not defined. So there might be, you know, I don't know, might put a little bit in there, possibly.
I sent you guys a bunch of pictures of front of biceps, HADI and SAMSON, and you can post it on this
But
video.
you know what the funny
It's
thing is?
out of
though?
your mind.
But
It's
you
so-
know what the funny thing is, Milos? We all sitting there and we looking at everybody.
Yeah.
And Chris is the only one that pointed things out that we didn't even see.
the other thing. Okay, we talk about that one. But yeah, I just posted on my Instagram HADI and SAMSON comparison. I cropped it so you can see a little bit, you know, real comparison.
You ain't stopping. You ain't stopping, are you? It's over.
No,
But listen.
Officially.
On the other hand, he's a world beater. He's a world contender now. And he's
next year.
by not only winning the Arnold Classic, but coming and doubling down like, yes, I'm that man. I'm that guy.
You remember last year after the Olympia what I said? I said Derek's going to win the Olympia next year.
Yeah.
I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying the same thing now, right now, today. Samson is going to win the Olympia next year.
Yeah, for next 5.
Yeah, I don't know. He listen. Milos, if he nails it, he can go as long as he wants.
Is he going to go from this show?
Because the only one that can possibly beat him if he's on is another guy that if he gets the improvements that he needs, that can compete with him, and that's Andrew Jacks.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking.
Hey, Dennis, that's why I wanted them to sign this photo, and I was going to bring it home because this is possibly the future back and forth. These guys.
Yeah.
It's going
I had them signed it. And I was like, to me, they won that whole battle with whoever was in the show. Like this was the most impressive battle with these guys.
I didn't even see it, to be honest.
I'm just saying, I was there watching it. So
I don't know. I don't really watch stuff with Chris in it. That's why.
yeah, so
Yeah.
He called me a pindo. I will never forget.
but then I thought I was forgiven because you was behind me.
But
You
listen,
come in there.
I really never watched it, to be honest. I never watched
No, but I was saying I was there and I was like,
Yeah.
I said,
Okay. So Chris, what did you see that Dennis and I didn't see? What you're referring to, Dennis?
Point it out, Chris.
I see everything. No,
Because I was in the first row, and Dennis was right behind me here. Like I could you know, feel his breath.
He could smell my breath. He could smell my breath. He said.
I smell it.
I feel.
You know what I mean? But I was there the whole show, and they asked me, "Did you see this on Derek?" I said, "No, not one time."
I didn't see it. I probably. Sometimes you look at it,
How could you
you don't look at everything. Chris saw it right away. He mentioned it, and after he mentioned it, I looked on pictures, and then I saw it.
Yeah, on pictures. Yeah, on pictures, but not in person.
I think in person it was a different look from photos, and I don't want to point any blame at anybody or whatever.
Wait a minute. But listen, we are here
You're
to do
smarter in the way you do things.
Olympia Wrap Up. Now, here's the thing. Lee Priest put a post out and pointed those lumps out. What could that be? I can't see somebody shooting there like this. I don't see.
No, but why front? Why front?
Okay. So
That's what I'm saying. I don't see that. I don't
you
see
show
that.
me how to do the lat shots.
I know, but not into the front lats. In the side.
This is how Dennis would do. Put the arm, you know, here, relax the lat, and then
You can't even do it yourself. You have somebody else do it.
Remember how Dorian was saying when
I can do it.
You know, Dorian was just saying he lifted it.
But listen,
but
here's the thing. We all know you got to put things somewhere, and
You think that's
there's got to be. But listen, I think the amount matters. The amount matters, and if you would bring that amount down lower, you won't get that type of issue. And maybe the size of the needle matters. All of that stuff.
But Chris, listen, what sense does it make to open the lats and shoot right in the front lats?
Bro,
because
I
you can do it yourself. That's the only sense. you can do it yourself.
Do you believe that this is from shooting?
Okay, so if it's
know.
that, the only other option is lymph nodes, axillary lymph nodes that he got some kind of infection. You know, this is it because when you look at his
Both sides.
typical, like
Yeah, don't make. Yeah, what could be that amount? Would you put 3 cc's? Like they don't make any sense.
I don't know, bro. I have no clue.
hey,
I have no clue.
you always do the 3 cc because you fill up the needle. You don't shoot yourself with the like 1 cc. Well, you know, don't waste the shot. You always fill up the whole syringe.
But listen, but you just got to be better at hiding stuff, hiding those type of things because you don't want, you know, this type of fallout. But let's not think that these the only one, or you know, that was, I don't know, it just need to be thought out better. But everyone's doing something. Like there's no.
I don't blame him. I'm asking because I don't know. If you tell me this is a lymph node, I believe it too.
That's the only other option.
I can't see anybody shooting there to the point that it lumps up like the way it did. It's symmetrically on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, this looks like you've been doing this shit for a long time.
But there's been thighs, there's thighs, there's hamstrings. There's a lot of the stuff going on where they choosing to place different things. I'm not talking about him, Derek, especially. I'm talking about overall in this sport and men and women. And I just think it needs to be better thought out and understanding what can happen and what can come up of putting a substance in your body. And, you know, I'm not saying to that point, but I just rather not see that type of thing like on the legs, the hamstrings. And I think it's potentially dangerous. And I think you can actually tear muscles. And I think you can totally mess up your body and shorten your career in bodybuilding.
Okay, so you believe it's from shooting?
I'm not talking about him in particular. I'm talking about what I've been seeing.
I'm asking you.
What I've been seeing, even, you know, years ago, I had this in my mind, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to start talking more, because I wanted to bring light on it, because I know what could happen, and you need that circulation, all of that.
Chris, as someone that's been in the game for over 30 years,
Right.
what do you think is it?
I can't even. I've never seen that before to that extent. So that's.
I don't think really. I actually don't think that's injections.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe somebody putting them
I don't
right
think
there.
the injections.
it's something else.
Lymph nodes that he had some kind of infections in axillary lymph node, and because perfect circle, like same diameter, same height, same its location.
I saw the knots on his ass. Well, that's,
I mean, come on, they all have.
without a question, that's what it is.
20 years ago.
But that just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. And okay, if you need to improve the back, then you could suspect something. The back is the last thing that he ever needed to improve because it's ridiculous. I mean, and this year was even more impressive. So let's not talk down.
Let's compare.
Let's first state it. He made a history. First 212 guy, got the courage to go to 2 open. Almost won last year. He said he's going to come and win it. Improve. He improved, and he won it. Congratulations! Shit.
But did you guys agree with the result? Did you guys agree that he beat HADI?
Yeah.
You did.
I didn't.
Here's the thing. This is what I think. There was a time where Andrew Jack had, and I brought this up on the show a few times, like in this area, ab and chest and abs, and I mean, just totally like fibers on top of fibers on top of fibers, but it didn't necessarily win him the competition that he was in. And I felt like that was the hardest part on HADI was his abs and his chest. The other parts of his body wasn't like that. The glutes wasn't like that. The back door bicep wasn't like that. The hamstrings that he was touching on to illustrate hardness and separation wasn't like he normally, because we
different question.
What?
Different question then. Okay, so we all agree that HADI wasn't as good from the back as from the front. We also all
He's
agree,
been harder. He's been that way before.
I understand, but we also agree that Derek was great from the back, but not as good from the front. Correct?
But better than last year.
Do we agree?
Better than last year.
Okay, yeah, he was bigger.
And
He was bigger.
And he had
Now,
first place vote
here's
last
what I
year.
think. Here's what I think, and I like Derek. Don't get me wrong, but I went to him backstage Saturday before they came out, and I told him, I said, "Go handle your business," because I thought that he was going to get second. And I told him before he even went out, I said, "Listen, you're right there." I said, "All you need to do is you need to improve up here," and he agreed. He said, "Yes." And I told him that backstage before they even came out for their confirmation round. You know, I didn't say he's going to win or lose. I just said him this. Once you get that in, said you're on a
Yeah,
run.
you can win. You know,
Yeah.
guys that don't want to hear this kind of shit.
Huh?
But these guys that
No,
don't want to hear this, you need to improve
I
something.
gotta tell you,
He's about to go.
Derek took it the right way. He understood. I'm just honest.
He knows
He knows that he doesn't have the striations and the detail in the front. You know, and for that, because I look at it this way: how much worse is Hadi's back compared to Derek's front?
Comparable. Very
Comparable.
comparable.
I think that Hadi's glutes had more striations than Derek's chest. No, so I think that Hadi's back was not as good as his front. But if I have to take it, you know, how big of a difference from front to back, I would say 70% different. I mean, he's 70% from the back, 100% from the front. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Derek, I'm going to be honest, he's 110% from the back and maybe 60% from the front.
Yeah, we
That's
can.
how I'm trying to explain it.
Yeah,
And that's why I'm just going to be honest. That's why I thought if I would have been the deciding factor who's going to win, I would have gave it to Hadi for one more time, because just as close as it was last year would have been this year for me. But I'm cool with it.
Okay, but listen, the way I took it as there's only been a few times in bodybuilding history, and I actually told this to him also, like, I saw when I was in the audience when Lee Haney stood on stage in Los Angeles, and I know the feeling I had in my body and my eyes, jaw dropping. Wow, that was 1988. 1993, I had the same feeling with Dorian, and I was just like, what am I trying to accomplish? How can I even go to try to compete against this is the champion? Contemplating that, do I really want it like this? And then the third time was when I saw Derek come out, and the front quads at first was the same as the back, because I felt like he was just, and then when he turned around to the back, and then when I turned around to the back, I was just,
the back was jaw dropping.
It was, mouth open.
That's why I don't get it. How can you be so shredded from the back in the glutes and you don't have a striation on the chest?
Or the shoulders.
It's probably
or feathers in the quads. You know, when you talk striations, glute striations are somehow, awarded, but intercostals, chest, delts, feathers in the quads, muscle that is normally striated is not.
Could it be that, because he, leading up to the pictures and videos leading up to the show was there. Could it be because once you get to that point that you dry out like this, that the weak body parts are going to go first and just flatten out? That's why you didn't see that?
I'm just glad we're having this conversation, because we've been a few years, no one has striations. So it's refreshing to me that we have striations coming back.
but this is what I think, that, you know, by drying out his chest, the separation in his chest and the legs, you know, flatten out a little bit. His back stays there, and it was always like
But
that.
the
His back was
the
always-
abs were improved, even though it wasn't like Hani's abs, but they were improved. Like you tell
Why you think he didn't do an ab shot? Ab and thigh, both hands overhead.
maybe he didn't, maybe it was like a gaze
Listen.
machine. Maybe it's like a chess match.
No, just man,
Yeah, because he is more
I know.
competitive, not showing.
It's
come on now, come on, we talking.
Okay, yeah, you can
Don't do
analyze.
it overhead.
if I feel I need,
Not
if I
only
feel I need to pose a certain way as opposed to my opponent, then I'm gonna pose a certain way.
No, it's not only Derek. There's
They do it in classic. too.
Keon.
They do it in
there's,
class. That's what I was saying. They do it in
Ian by
classic.
year. There's a lot of
Well-
guys that don't do the overhead ab shot because
Yeah.
they look better like this. Turn it. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why you don't do the whole. It should be mandatory. And I had a conversation with Jim one time, and I said, shouldn't they do an ab and thigh like overhead? Yeah, that's normally. So
It's called the abdominals and
they
thighs.
only mentioned. Tyler mentioned last time with the side triceps.
Mhm.
Oh, but he didn't mention the abs, so he let him get away with it, and that's why they don't do it, because maybe they don't look as good in the ab and thigh than when they just turn to the side a little bit. But here's what I'm trying to say: Derek needs a little bit more time. I mean, he's already Mr. Olympia, but you know, who am I to speak? You know, I'm just telling, for him to stay Mr. Olympia, he needs to improve. He needs to improve. He needs to get that detail, because I tell you this. Let me ask you this. Let him not have the back that he has. Let him have a back equal to the front. Where would he place?
And
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not saying he has everything. Look, and I celebrate this guy the whole year, and I still celebrate him. But I got to be honest. I got to tell him the truth. I can't tell him you're perfect. You know, don't change nothing, because if he's going to come in like this next year, if he
I
come
think
in
everybody wants
next year or
to.
similar, then Samson's going to roll all over him.
I mean, put it this way: you guys noticed he was impressive when he came on stage. We were watching, you know.
Best, I've never seen a back detail like this. I mean,
But hold on, front
Maybe
relax was first. He has that structure, small waist. He was
Yeah.
not, you know, jaw dropping like last year. Last year was unexpected. This year was kind of expected, and I don't think he looked more impressive this year in this front relax. You know, I think that his waist is a little expanded this year. You know,
I was just about to say it. Unless he
Yeah.
does a vacuum, his waist is not small.
yes, exactly. That's why he does a ab vacuum.
Right.
You talk
Right.
about it. But the frontal biceps looks good. I think arms are somewhat improved. Then he turns to the side, but he does that one arm back shot that is crazy. He does quick side chest with a crazy leg detail from the side. He has that, you know, so that's quite impressive. Then he turned around and did this back double biceps that just won him Olympia right that moment. I mean, it was so mind-boggling, like, holy shit. You know, as Chris said,
What
wow.
were you thinking? What were you thinking when you saw that back double bicep? You personally.
I mean, yeah, that's probably one of the best back double biceps I've ever seen in my life. I mean, of course, I've seen Ronnie and the Phil Heath, right? And Dorian. And,
But Ronnie wasn't like that. Ronnie was. Ronnie was.
What you say now? Watch what
Ronnie
you
was
say.
more like what?
Now, Ronnie gonna call you.
Ronnie.
yeah, I mean, it's hard to say until you.
I will pick Ronnie's body part apart. It will be exactly dead on. But I'm just saying, the back double bicep, the separation, the dugout cuts, and the glutes was just like way more than Ronnie's glutes.
Oh, I don't think so. You see, look at Ronnie's glutes; it's fucking ridiculous. And Ronnie would blow him away.
Yeah, down his leg.
Shoulders,
You can't compare the
hamstrings.
glutes because Derek has those lower glutes deeply striated, deep and thick.
They were
And Ronnie
deep,
had
deep,
the
deep.
whole glutes, but it was a little bit finer. But it was Ronnie's glutes was fucking fired up, man. Come on now.
Yeah,
They were
crazy.
down his leg.
So
This guy had
either
short.
way, we haven't seen a back like this for a long time, right? So
Long
when he
time.
turned around,
In the 90s.
yeah, I mean, when he hit that pose, it was like, I said, like, okay,
I mean,
that's
listen,
the pose that won him the title.
Dennis, I think they put the pencils down at that point. They're like, okay, let's just put this
Phil's
down.
back was great too, and it was thicker than Derek's.
Yeah, Phil didn't have as wide. Derek has the most differential from a top to bottom, that width to the small waist.
Shoulder to waist ratio, yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this is, see, when you see Derek's back double biceps, you can instantly say, Mr. Olympia, right there. Okay. But then you see him side chest. Oh, how is this, Mr. Olympia? Side triceps. How is this? Ab shot. Oh my God. Most muscular. No way. Right. So this is how you analyze.
But Ronnie's abs was questionable the whole time.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Ronnie never had no abs.
But we're talking about the Olympia from last
Yeah,
weekend.
but
That's why I had,
I'm just
That's
saying,
why I had-
that's not a prerequisite to having the title.
Chris. So you had Derek winning after prejudging and finals.
I was thinking more what they might do, not what I want.
I'm asking you what you
No,
see.
listen.
Talk about
Because listen, and I could say, you know, I thought Breon could be this, but what the judge is going to do is totally different idea.
Yeah, but Chris, but
And
I
what
didn't ask you to tell me what the judges think. I know what the
I
judges
know,
think.
but listen, but that's what I thought. I mean, what I wanted, I said my heart was with Derek to win the show.
Okay, is this because you like him more than Hadi, or is it because that's how you see it when you look at the physique?
No, it's not like I like anyone. Where I like both of the guys.
Is it
I'm
the
talking
physique
about-
that one is you like?
Talking
his
about what?
physique that is better? There's no problem if you say that. I mean, I get it.
No,
The
listen.
judges-
I was saying, no one gave me that feeling other than Derek.
Yeah,
Just the '90s.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
From the front, 90s.
Just period. Not like, okay, this pose I like. This is '90s. This is.
You see,
I mean, obviously that's
yeah,
not.
he's trying to stay politically correct.
No. Obviously, let me finish talking.
If we
Let
off,
me finish talking, Dennis. Let me finish talking.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the '90s, obviously not from the front, but
what is more important, front or back?
I don't know.
What's more important?
I could pick apart a few different champions. I could pick apart that I felt I was the best bodybuilder on the stage of many times, and I didn't come away with the victory.
Yeah, no.
I could say that.
You didn't have glutes, that's why.
I could go back and show you some photos and video right now that felt like I was the best in most of these poses, and I still walked away with a second place medal.
Yeah,
I can say that all day. You got time? I could bring out some.
No, I agree with you, Chris. I'm a huge fan of your physique, and I see even Cannon and Flash and Ronnie, right? Hey, it's going. Check. Anyway,
Don't hide, Dennis. We're right here. We don't hide from us.
Say what?
Don't hide from us.
I had to pick up. I dropped something by accident.
Just fucking with you.
yeah.
So listen. Anyways, I like Derek. I like his physique. I love his physique. I had him winning this whole year.
Yeah.
Friday, I changed my mind. Literally.
Hey, how about this? That was our top 3 focus the whole year.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
That was our top 3
And it was
focus the
top
whole
3,
year.
and then there was a big gap.
And it was never,
There was
yeah,
nobody
there
even
was never no one else, really.
There was never even nobody close to the top 3. But what I'm saying is, I was on his bandwagon all fucking year. But I got to keep it real. I saw Hadi. For me, Hadi would have won that year one more time. Because his back, for me, his back double biceps, hamstrings, and glutes were just a little bit better than Derek from the front, in my eyes, condition-wise. Details. Hadi wasn't as shredded from the back as he was. Last year, his back was weaker than this year. His back was better than last year. His glutes weren't as dug out as they were before, but that came with the fucking added weight, I guess. Because you can see he was way bigger. He made Derek look small. Tell me I'm
Because
wrong.
they were
I
both.
think a lot of it depends on where you were sitting in the audience.
I was sitting right in front of the stage, in the middle.
How do you
Yeah,
get those seats?
Listen, they were both coming.
You saw where I was sitting. You said
constantly.
almost
No,
next to
how'd
me.
you get those seats? That's what I said.
And I know someone who knows someone. Who knows.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, I was sitting on Jake Wood seat. Yeah, I see that was his name, but he's not there. Like 11.
Well, it wasn't his suit. It was just his company,
Yeah.
his company. All that were searching.
Anyway, I was glad to have it.
So listen, can we all agree? I mean, Milos, who did you have win? Other than Samson, because he's obviously third.
Other than Samson.
My heart was with Samson, right? But I would have a HADI if I would be a judge. It was, for me, there was a HADI against Samson. I appreciate that you guys were picking Derek. I knew that hardness was not there 2019 and 20 and 21 and 22, and it was not going to come this year either, right?
Why?
There's a gap. It's just like, okay, you see him, there's still as ripped as he was from the back, right? The striations and all this. So you would think it's comparable condition. I remember when he won that 2021, the 212, and I talked to Hadi and Honey Rambo, and I told him, honey, when Derek came out in front, I thought he was off. I mean, you see him from the front, nothing. You see him from the side, nothing. And then he turned around. I really told him, literally, I thought he was off. But then I realized he's not off.
You think we were sitting too
He
close?
he lacked the density.
You think we were sitting too close, maybe?
We were sitting too close. No, I mean,
The judge is like 10 rows behind.
No,
Yeah.
but Hadi looked shredded, like shredded from the front.
yeah, Hadi is the next level shredded. I mean,
That shit was nasty. From
we
the
can
front.
say Hadi's condition. There are
But
different
is it-
conditions, and then there's Hadi's from the front condition.
But it's
You
not
can't
really in the
better than that.
shoulders. It's not in the shoulders. It's more like the chest and the abs, right?
Yeah, just in the legs too. You can see the legs they're not
I wouldn't give it
striated
to
like
the
you
leg.
would like to see, but you can see there's nothing there. There's no fat.
Zero. Yeah, it's skin. Yeah. I would call it Hadi's conditioning. That's the next level conditioning from the front. And this year he was better than last year. Definitely.
Yeah, he was
You know.
definitely better than last year
Yeah,
and
definitely.
bigger on top
But-
of it.
I tell you also, the lights, I don't
Definitely
know.
better than last
You see
year.
them,
Right.
backstage.
Lights
right?
were shit.
They
I gotta say that-
downgraded everybody's condition. Even when you look at the live stream, I'm looking at the videos, it doesn't give you the real assessment of their conditioning. It's
I don't get it. I don't get it. For why not at least for prejudging? Turn all that fucking techno shit off. That all lights. That throws off, man. Your eyes is not. This is not good for the eyes, man. You
Is
looking
it because it was at the night show and not
Huh?
is
At
it
the
because-
night show, who cares? The judging is done most likely, anyways. It might have a few changes, but
But
at
yeah,
least
you don't need no special
turn that
effects for a
turn that
PJ.
screen dark. Let it go for a couple of minutes, and all that. That's your eyes can't fucking focus. And I heard it was terrible on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I've seen some of the
And
footage.
you know what? 2 years ago, when it was in Orlando, they had the screens on the side. The screens were fucking crystal clear. This time, it wasn't.
So,
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe my eyes going bad, but it just didn't look clear to me no more. It was the set. Usually, you look at the screen, you see more detail than you look when you look on stage. And this time, it was the total opposite. I
What
saw more detail on stage than on the screen. So I feel bad for the people that watch the damn pay-per-view.
But you said backstage, when you're up close, Samson and other guys, you see more condition than you were seeing on
more.
stage.
Much more.
Much more. Yeah. And that's-
Thompson looked way harder backstage than he was when he was on stage.
yeah.
And his skin,
What
you
about-
can, if you get close, you can see how thin his skin was in a lot of areas.
Well, look, I have a lot of fans and friends from Iran. Of course, they're devastated. And why did he lose?
Devastated.
Because, you know,
I just think they need to calm down a little bit.
It's not like it wasn't a robbery. That's
it's not a robbery.
End of the
Yeah.
world. It's not the fucking.
I could see
Not a
pose by
robbery.
pose. I
Right.
could see if I'm a judge, it can go all three directions. I could see that. Really, all three. Then you can say, oh, still you have to chip in Samson. He was very much in contention. Otherwise, they would pull just these two and it would be a show. This is, fight for the Olympia. I'm glad
Isn't that what they did at one point to call them both?
they never had them.
Oh,
just-
no, that was in the classic. My bad.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you were mentioning Dennis,
I
when
didn't
you
want to, I wanted to see. Go ahead.
when Dennis was third to you and Ronnie at Arnold Classic, but they just pulled you and Ronnie and they didn't give him chance to stand there. I said, just give me that chance. You know,
Why you think they did that? I know why.
yeah, you were too dangerous.
You think they're protecting
You
me?
would smoke Chris that time.
Basically, if you put the first call out, usually back then it was always to Chris. You remember that, don't you?
But I had better abs than him.
Yeah, you did.
I'm not talking about Ronnie. I'm talking about me. You remember that usually back then it was 3 on call out. 3.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
the first call out, they called Ronnie first, then they called you, and then I'm waiting for them to call my name because I had a feeling I'm in this motherfucker.
Yes.
They
You should.
didn't. And they started calling the fucking poses. I was like, what the fuck? So now, of course, the judges know this is 1 and 2.
But I'm not.
Yeah.
But
So Ronnie got all first place and you got all second place. Now they bring me to the damn call out. Now I'm just too late now.
I didn't let my stomach go and I'm gonna pack it in.
So, okay, listen.
Hey, listen, Dennis, when I was meaning before about a chess match, like I know for a fact I'm not gonna hit a crab next to you and Ronnie. Like I'm just not gonna do it. There's no way you can make me do it. I'm gonna do whatever's gonna accentuate my body to make
This
me.
will do appetite for us.
I'm gonna do something that's gonna involve my abs. It's gonna involve my shape, and I'm just gonna be as muscular as I can without doing that.
Yeah, no, I get you.
That's what I mean by chess match. That's what I mean.
That's what you call being strategic. That's normal.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why Derek didn't do the ab shot next
Of course.
to
There's a
Hadi, of
reason
course.
why.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because, like I said, he still won the Olympia, and I'm cool with that. Absolutely cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, I'm thinking right now, Samson is the most dangerous guy for him next year.
He's the next. I mean, you know.
No, Hadi can come back and say, fuck you all. I'm dropping
Yeah.
5 pounds and I'm coming front to back peeled, and then he's winning again.
Jay Cutler said yesterday, interesting thing, like he says, you know, when you put that extra mass and all the stuff and you're absolutely peeled from the front, right? There's nothing there, right? And your back still doesn't get there, maybe you cannot get there. You know what I mean? You know, with the extra mass.
I've seen him there before.
He had it before.
Yeah, I've seen his back peeled just like the front. Back in Toronto, back at the San Marino Pro, he was fucking nasty. He made everybody look fat.
Yeah,
For real.
He always
Or at the Korean show where Flex Lewis beat him.
But you know, okay, so
No,
now think about it. He lost back double bicep shot to Flex. This is the only shot that he lost, right? In Korea. Yeah. His back was still not the same.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm serious. Think about it. You know,
I know, but just because I win one shot, does that mean that I'm losing the show?
No, but Derek
I'm winning because of one shot?
and win the Olympia title. You know?
I mean, they always say the shows are won from the back. That's true.
Well, I'll tell you what, he did a slam dunk from the free throw line with that back to a bicep.
I know, but now explain Rami winning the Olympia if it's the back shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, his front is so dominant, and he had the width, and he was a very, I mean, you know how Rami was taking up the stage back then.
I understand, but you can't say it's the most important pose is the back, because I think he lost the back pose to everybody.
I mean, you can go tit for tat for every competition, especially the Olympia, and you could see. I mean, you could point out different things, but it's like
I understand. That's why I feel the way I feel about Hadi. I feel that, you know, for me, he edged out the Derek by a little bit.
But
simply because he is a reigning Mr. Olympia, or he was, and you have the Olympia bonus. So if you come in better, or if you're not off, and somebody's coming that is not 100%.
they improved. They both improved a lot, though.
I know, but where would you say Derek,
Samson.
when you calculate Derek front and back, where would you say he was percentage-wise? Yeah, we don't have to worry about a couple of percent here and there. Just what would you say? 90?
At least
85? Where?
in the 90s.
What's the 90s? Is it 91, 99? What do you think?
93, 93, like
Don't confuse people. Hey, listen, Judge,
93%.
no, let's just say this. Judges knows
Talk
what
about a few inches here and a few inches there because the whole lower body to me was fat free when he came out there.
Yeah.
who was fat free.
I'm not saying he was fat. I'm just saying that he was maybe faded a
Yeah,
little.
and a few inches here and a few inches there of flesh that you could see, okay, I'd like to have that better. But I mean, when that shit's moving around and I just know that feeling I had. I described it earlier. And I didn't have that. I haven't had that feeling in a long time.
Okay, so let's talk about Andrew Jackson for a second. He got fourth. Oh no, Brandon Curry. Brandon Curry. Where was Brandon Curry?
Fourth, right?
I know. So where do you think? Because I had Brandon Curry actually doing better. No, before he had to go to the hospital. You know, I mean, I think he looked really good for that. For being in the hospital, being under, not being able to eat for 24 hours. And so on, but
We some pictures. We had a chance to see the pictures from Abdul. I don't know if he sent you guys. He sent me. He sent.
No, he didn't send it. Nothing.
I saw some when I saw him in the audience.
Yeah, but
and
pictures,
he was asking me, "Hey, man, do you think?"
Pictures is pictures, MILOS. Pictures is pictures.
Yeah, I know.
I had pictures back then. Had Chris fucking shitting.
Yeah, I know.
Pictures.
But anyway, listen.
See the pictures I got.
Played sport after being in a hospital, and he was visibly, for me, smaller. His legs were down. His fullness in the chest was not there. Back didn't pop up as we know Brandon can, and he still plays.
Yeah,
he still plays sport. Congratulations. I mean, what achievement. If you look. Like Steve Weinberger saw him, and he told you that he's spot on, right? You said
he didn't say he was spot on. He said he looks great. He's holding a little water, but that's.
I thought you sounded like a best friend.
But he was at his best.
Yeah.
I can't quote him 100%.
Super competitive.
But he also said he's holding a little water, which is to expect.
Okay.
Could you have put him up higher than fourth?
Yeah,
no, I didn't have him. No, there was nobody close to Samson, Derek, and Hadi. Yeah. Nobody.
Hey, I'm gonna ask you this because we all know balance is not that legs are smaller. But when can you see it? When Brandon is coming on the stage and just walking, then you can see he can pop the lateralis, the sweep, and then you can see that those legs need so much more size. And then when he turns around in back poses, then again you could see that legs are just not there. This is the truth. I mean, when we see those pictures, when he flares them out from the front and then side is so powerful, yes. But, judges can see you walking in, moving.
Yeah, but if that's the case, then they can judge a lot more distended stomachs. They could judge a lot more.
Yeah, and they should. That's why the Phil Heath lost the Olympia title in 18 because he let it go, not pose by pose. So Andrew Jack, as we know, structure that is so dangerous. He can be fighting there. At our podcast, Psycho Fitness was saying all this, that he's so much improved. He's gonna smoke.
Yeah, he was off. He was way off.
Yeah, he was off, and you could still see that legs need more size. From the front.
Was off. Usually, my eyes are drawn to him.
Yeah,
his front double was different. It wasn't like, his abs wasn't the same. He was off. I mean, I'll be the first.
Chest was way too much.
I still thought he was going to get fourth, though. I had him fourth.
Me too. Yeah, if you ask me, yes, I would put him fourth. Even though I love Brandon's physique, but Andrew was bigger, wider. There's more happening.
Question. From the whole lineup, how many people were in real shape?
Kriza was in a super good condition, but
just don't have no back to a bicep to life right
but
now.
It's much better than it was. Though. He improved a lot in his back.
Yeah, it just looks weird back there, but he was definitely hard.
If you have a phone there, check my Instagram. My last post, I put the Regan Kriza comparison. Regan looked like a monster next to him. I'm serious. Take
So
a look.
who nailed it? Was anybody there who nailed it?
Well, you say Crizzo nailed it, right?
I think so. I think he was the only one.
Hold on.
Not
Crizzo
Dutch,
nailed it if you check dryness and leanness and thin skin.
Right.
He lost
That's
20
what
pounds.
I'm
He
just checking
lost
out
what it looked like 20 pounds for that.
Yeah.
As Jay would say, play to your strengths. He was a monster. He looked small. He was like narrow, right?
I want to
Leg
know what
small.
I want to know what he's sitting on. Because this brother got no ass. For real. Chris, get off.
But conditioning was super good. Okay,
Chris.
Yeah, I'm looking at his post. I mean, Regan. I'm looking at the Regan and the.
Yeah. Crizzo has the condition. He was probably the only one. Tony Burton was good too, condition wise.
Yeah, but
That
Crizzo
was
was
spot
drier than
on.
Regan, Milos.
Hey, what?
Crizzo was drier than Regan.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
I think they probably went with that, and he had those big peak biceps. That's what I'm looking at.
From the back, it was murder. I mean, there was not even close, right?
What she wrote.
Front lat spread, so much more width and everything. I mean, aesthetics.
He's gonna improve, man.
Why do you think?
my hat.
So why do you think Crizzo placed 2 places ahead of Regan?
He's that wonder from Czech Republic. There was
It's the wonder show, man. You mean?
Yeah. Hold on a second. If they really gave a little bit more comparisons, I would like to see Tonio and Regan next to Brandon and Hunter. I would like to see it. They have no business standing there. They had a business standing there, but
How do you think Hunter looked? How do you think Hunter looked?
Hunter was off too.
Yeah.
He was off. He was just a little off. When we say off, it sounds terrible.
Yeah,
It was a little off.
Yeah, for me that too.
Talking about the best in the world. So anyway,
I judged Hunter, and the same with Andrew. I judged him by what they looked like in Texas,
Yeah, exactly.
and they were better in Texas.
yeah, both of them. Yeah,
Hunter
but you
thinks
think
that
you're competing then and then competing again, it's going to be harder to because I was never.
For some people, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I was never that.
And look at Regan. Regan looked his best at the Olympia compared to the other shows he did this year, and that was not too long ago.
That's true.
So some people can pull it off, and some people just can't.
Regan is in video shape year round.
Content shape.
Content shape, yeah.
Content shape.
Content. I forgot the name they used.
But now let me throw something else in. It's a little surprise here. That's just my opinion. If Nick Walker would have been in the show, fully fucking loaded, super peeled,
Might have gave everybody
we would have Nick Walker as a Mr. Olympia right now.
possibly, yeah.
That's my honest opinion. That's my honest opinion. If Nick Walker would have been in the show, fucking the way I think he can look, he would have won the Olympia this year. And nobody would complain.
Yeah, he could contest.
I don't care what nobody says.
Double biceps of Derek.
And his symmetry. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. He would have been the only one other than Crizzo in shape, and he has the body to be Mr. Olympia. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I was sitting right next to him watching finals, and he was very much disturbed that he couldn't be on the stage, seeing that.
I don't blame him because everybody was off.
Yeah, he would do very, very good.
Always when shit like this happens and nobody comes in shape. I mean, guys, don't get me wrong. Whoever is watching this now, I'm not saying this guy's one in shape. I'm just saying little off. This is how we talk as bodybuilders. Bodybuilders know what I'm talking about. So I can only imagine how Nick Walker was sitting down there and said, fuck, this would have been the year. And I thought about that. I said, if he
I'm sure he was in the audience thinking that.
Yeah.
I talked to him. I was sitting right next to him.
And I really believe if he would have showed up in shape, front to back.
Yeah, you see, back down biceps, he could stand next to Derek and not be blown away, at all. And as a matter of fact, You know, he
In all
believes,
the other shots, he would make him look small.
yeah, side shots, yeah, would be devastating. Yeah,
Let me tell you what I can see happening in the future. I can see Samson and fucking Nick battling out for the
yeah,
title.
of course. And Nick knows that. Yeah, he's
I
looking
really
forward
can
to
see
that.
that happen. I really can see that happen because if you look at it, Derek, okay, he knows he needs to get better here. If he wants to repeat, he needs to hope that these guys are not in shape. Because I think he's going to be in a little trouble. Because Derek, I don't think he has the structure to gain more weight.
It would be dangerous for him to gain more weight.
Yes, and I think it will blow his waist out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? So he has to stay where he's at and refine that as much as possible. Because if 1 year is not enough, and these guys, if Nick Walker steps on stage and Samson and they stay peeled, I think he's in a little trouble. I mean, and I'm glad this is this way because I don't think there's anybody so dominant that we have someone that's winning for years and years and years, which could be somebody like Samson.
Hey, you know what? I have perfect idea just flashed in front of me. How to avoid guys moving forward. Okay. You just put the lights, set the lights for the edge of the stage. So you can, it's right there. You can make
So as they step forward, you're in the dark. You're in the dark.
No, but seriously, instead of putting that line all the way back,
It should really
right at the edge of the stage. So you can step 1 foot forward.
I'm just a spectator, and I got pissed for them ignoring what fucking Steve been saying the whole time. Get back on the line. And one pose, and every pose was a step forward. And every time they end, by the time they get to the most muscular, they ain't fucking on the edge of the stage. And I think Steve should, in the future, should be like, hey, listen, guys, if one guy steps forward,
penalize your ass.
you have to call out. I'm gonna put you back on the side.
Yes, I agree with that 100% because there's no other. Samson knew that
I don't
already.
think he wouldn't mind that.
Talk about it.
I think Steve would be all for that.
I think that's what Steve should tell him. I said, if one guy steps forward one more time, I'm going to put him back on the side, and then you're losing this call out.
Yeah.
We'll see how much they stay on the line, man. Like
I saw that happen before with Breon and Chris, when Breon was standing there, and it was Chris Terrence and Bonstead, but Bonstead kept going into Breon, hitting into Breon with his elbow, and then did that a couple times. And then when Breon retaliated back, which I would have done from the first time, retaliated back, then he told him to go on the outside of the call out, and to me it kind of cost him a placing, and that's when Terrence beat him that time. You can go back and check it out.
Guys, you should get the book if you didn't get it. It's
no, when you read it and you tell us what it's all about.
Tell me what it's all about.
You could sense Arnold like he's talking to you right there. You know.
Did you see the documentary?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, I did.
You know.
I did.
One of the things.
But I just thought you.
Wenshon Denshon, right? That's German. How do you say that?
Wenshon
Denshon, yeah.
Denshon.
What does that mean?
When he's talking about, do you feel comfortable looking at the mirror? Do you feel scared? I mean, how many people are actually comfortable looking themselves in the mirror? Yeah, that's a good point.
I used to be.
Yeah.
I only look in the mirror when I brought.
What did you think of the documentary?
I loved it.
I liked it. It gave him a way, showed how he was raised, and he was honest about a lot of things.
Yeah.
But he still kept a lot of things under.
Listen, you think he's gonna blow out his whole cover? Come on, man.
That's what I was thinking. Like
the only one who did that was Chris. Chris let him.
I just know a lot of things about.
You didn't say everything either. You kept a couple of things to yourself.
No, I want to talk openly.
Oh, I loved your documentary. I swear to God, I watched that shit and I had to text you. I said that shit was fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Even though I knew most of it, I still had to fucking finish it. Did you see it, Milos?
No, as a matter of fact, where do I see it?
You never saw his documentary?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Really? I have Amazon Prime. I'm gonna watch tonight. Okay,
Yeah, for real. It's really it's a good fucking documentary. Chris is just coming. He's coming out fucking with everything about his drug use, about him being fucking stupid and crazy. You know, it's being him. I love that fucking documentary. I swear to God.
Appreciate it.
So,
man.
anyways. Let's talk about Chris and Ramon and Urs. I think that Ramon and Urs and Chris are on a new level now. I think that it's much closer between Ramon and Chris than Urs is to Ramon. You know?
Urs has a more similar structure to Chris, and Chris has a standard. This is why he's winning. I mean, oh my God, that structure.
I thought Chris was better. I thought Chris was better last year.
Yeah, for sure he was better. So last year there was
harder last year. He was harder.
Yeah,
and a little fuller. He looked a lot more down.
This is what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it was much closer than it looked to the fans, because to the fans, Chris is unbeatable. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck who stands.
He could do whatever pose, stand on his head, sit down on the ground.
But he is that good. His structure is that good. I got to give it to him. But Dino is on his ass.
Dino, I probably would have placed, if I was having to judge that and I saw him improve much.
Switch the head.
Bicep.
Switch the heads. Give Dino's head.
Over there in Germany now. Now you.
Dino's head on Bumstead's body and vice versa.
How
close would it be?
I used to say the same with me and
I don't get it.
I used to say the same with me and Jay. Switch my head.
You're not getting it?
Switch my head with Jay's head and what
I said, you don't think that Ramon is catching up to Chris?
Of course. Usually I would have.
What I'm saying is,
I would have Ramon win if it was me judging.
That's what I'm saying. So I said, switch their heads, put Chris's head on Ramon's body and vice versa, and put him on stage. Who's winning?
So you would see Ramon win?
Not yet, but I said he's on his ass.
Yeah, he's closing the gap big time.
He's on his ass. He's closing the gap.
To me, because I watched it very close, I would have had Urs in fourth, and I would have Breon in third.
I heard from a few people. I heard from a few people that Urs was not as
watery. He had a lot of water
last year.
And I guarantee you, he's going to compete again.
He's competing this weekend in Texas.
Yeah, in Texas.
He has to, because he has to qualify.
And then I guarantee you he'll compete, and he will be drier when he been dry.
He's going to do Romania too.
Yeah, and
you know they have to re-qualify. Only the winner goes to the Olympia now.
Unless you won it before,
huh?
Unless you won it before, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's why but only the number one is qualified. Other than the big boys, it's the top three still. Instead of top five, only top three. All other categories, I think the girls also, the female bodybuilding, top three. All the other classes, only the winner goes.
Huh? Just the winner goes? Just the winner goes to the Olympia.
Yeah, this is new now. So everybody has to go qualify again.
I mean, every Mr. Olympia.
Unless you won it before.
Qualify for life, right?
Of course.
Unless you won it before.
As a Mr. Olympia, you don't have to qualify. So the winner is the Mr. Olympia or Miss, whatever.
So that's the only person.
Former winner.
Jesus. So which means that Natalia Coelho, who got second, she has to qualify for the Olympia.
But she competes all the time anyway.
I know, but even if she wouldn't, she would have to compete to qualify.
I hear you.
I like that because now the shows get better quality athletes again.
Do you think she lost it on her conditioning?
Her condition was spot on. I didn't see no problem with her condition.
So why do you think she lost?
I don't know. I think maybe it has something to do with the lump. I'm gonna be honest. This is what I think. I don't know if it is. I just don't. I thought after prejudging, it was clear win for her. But I'm like MILOS. I'm fucking super biased.
I'm super biased now.
Yeah, I'm super biased. I didn't even see what you told me, Chris. I got it from you, and then I went up to a room and.
Well, what do you do, Chris? You're just looking for a lump. So what do you do?
Chris just looking. Chris just.
I am the lump police.
Chris just
And
looking for flaws.
I'm handing out, and I'm keeping receipts, and I'm handing out citations.
Chris is just looking for flaws. Only someone who has experience with this shit sees that stuff.
I just know what the human body looks like, and I have a photographic memory of what they looked like before. I'm telling you, I do.
What did you?
Oh, I could explain both of y'all physiques up and down from head to toe still to this day.
No, we don't need that shit. I want to. I'm trying to sleep well tonight.
Still to this day.
Hey,
I'm
Chris,
tired. I don't want to talk about nothing.
I just tell you, I really do have a photographic memory. I do,
Okay.
and for bodies, I've been looking at bodies since I was 9 years old, or 9 to 12 years old, and I'm just like,
Yeah, no. I give you that. I give you that.
I can remember.
But
have you
yeah, I
ever
don't.
seen any change with my
I really
arms?
don't. Huh?
What?
Chris, have you ever seen any change with my arms?
No.
No, never.
Just when you put that stuff in there, and you end up in the hospital.
Flawless. Flawless.
It looks so stupid.
And I can still picture the sweat coming off your nose. There was a drop of sweat coming off your nose when you did that rat poison.
DNP.
I can still see it, and I can see you shrinking show by show by show by show.
Milos, for real now, is there anything you haven't tried?
Well,
No, this is a legit question for you too, Chris.
Yeah, I haven't tried DMP. I haven't tried DMP. I haven't done
I heard this shit
no
was normal
plasma
for you.
expander.
I heard that shit was normal for you guys.
Not
no,
me.
I just
I
say
never
use
tried
it.
it.
That's the only time that I use
never
it.
tried. I never tried a SARMs. I never tried an IGF.
But
I never
Chris, there
tried
was
it.
no Psalms back then. Why?
I know, but I never tried IGF. But even though moving forward, people's like, "Oh," I said, "But I don't know anything about that. I don't. That's not my deal."
You never tried IGF?
I
Never,
use 97.
never.
Huh?
97. I use 97. I have a in my
I believe
journal.
that Chris never tried IGF, knowing
I
that
swear.
this how people blew up.
What?
You knew that people blew up on that shit, and you didn't.
I didn't
try?
care. I was like, "You guys do that thing." Even when
I don't
even when
buy
they came out
that,
with the-
Chris. I know. I'm sorry, but I can't. Right now, I don't
Yeah,
believe.
I believe. Chris
You
would be
don't believe me?
afraid.
Bro, so you wait. So you know
So
for me.
you
I
telling me that you use insulin, but you didn't try IGF.
No, I did not. I never tried it. I didn't know how to do it.
Who taught you how to do insulin?
You should have
Milos.
called sounded bias coach.
You should have asked Milos how to use IGF then.
I'll tell you.
I didn't know how to do it. I never touched it.
Yeah. What else?
That
did you
wasn't,
have?
but that
You
wasn't
haven't
my.
used-
Huh?
You haven't used IGF. You haven't used DNP. What else? That's it.
I didn't use.
But EPO. You use
Huh?
EPO? EPIX?
I didn't use EPO. No plasma expander. I did. Sometime I didn't even do GH for some of these shows. I did.
Why was that?
Well, yeah,
I get that. I get that too.
yeah. Sometime I had to place it where I got to place it. You know, like these NFL owners. Some got to go to the concession stand. Some got to go to the place.
Milos, have you tried just about everything?
Yeah, except recreationally, I didn't do many things. I did just.
Okay, so but I'm talking about PEDs. Have you said no to?
I think so. I think so.
You said no.
Yeah, I don't think you can find anything that I didn't try. You know, really.
Okay. What from your experience when we're doing this now for people that think that they need to take everything? What in your experience, and not only on yourself, but with athletes you work with for over 30 years, what can you say out of the shit that's out there that is not necessary to take?
Well, listen, I could not handle clenbuterol, for example. It's good fat burner, but it just have way too much drawbacks that I wouldn't necessarily take it.
Like what?
It's
I like clenbuterol.
yeah, it burns fat for sure, but cardiovascularly it can be damaging. So
Okay, so
you don't want to. And look,
You brought in the clenbuterol?
when you put everything.
So you say clenbuterol can affect your heart.
Yes, shit, of course.
Okay, so why would they prescribe this to people with asthma?
You know, the way we use it, the way
Okay,
we.
okay. Then let me ask you this, because this is a good topic, because I'll tell you how I used it. No?
3 tablets a day.
Huh?
2-3 tablets a day. 2
was the max.
Yeah, I know people 15 plus.
I know that too. That's why I'm asking you. What was it? What was the dose that you were to take, or what you took before you said I can't do it no?
I would lie if I wouldn't say that I took 5. So I had 100, micrograms. 20 is each tablet, so I would go up to 5. But that's why I couldn't handle it. I used it one season and never again.
You ever heard of ventipulmine?
Yeah. The liquid one, the gel.
Yes.
Yeah.
The gel. This is usually for horses. They put that in their food.
Oh, I would have took that if I would have known.
Listen.
I did, because the pills I took tea, but I didn't know. And somebody said, "Yeah, take a pump." So I did a pump, and every time I didn't know how much that was. You know, you try
anything horse, I wanted it.
Hey, it would be like this. If you hold
I wanted to look like a horse. That's what I wanted.
Yeah. If you hold, I was at European Grand Prix Tour, and I remember the Benaziza. Benaziza went to a supermarket and he took something, right? And then he was looking, and he was like, and I came like that.
You know what?
Exactly.
You know what I felt every time I started clenbuterol the first couple of days? I would get cramps at the weirdest places.
Yeah.
Cramps, hot as shit.
Cramps in the...
And you can't.
I wouldn't sweat, but I would get a little jittery.
I sweat a lot.
Very big time.
I mean, I was sweating.
I sweat so much.
You know me with Thailand. You sweat all the time. You don't know what the fuck you're sweating for, or what the reason. It was fucking humid. It's crazy. But I was jittery in the beginning, and the cramps. Every time I start, the first 3-4 days, I get cramps in weird fucking parts of my body, where you don't normally get cramps. That was for me, knowing that this
shit. Could it cramp the heart? Is that what you're saying?
Huh?
You think it can cramp the heart?
No, cramps.
I know, but you think you can get a cramp in your heart with a clenbuterol?
In my heart? No, I didn't feel that. But I heard later that it can affect the heart for some people.
But I got death in the locker room. I'm like,
get off the fucking clenbuterol, Chris.
Hey, but what about
clenbuterol? When are you going to start? What, do we have a date?
Me?
Yeah, you promised me.
Man, I told you interrupted my egg whites and rice.
Okay, so you started officially.
I'm on it. Yeah.
Okay, really?
So, yeah,
I'm starting it too today. Then
you know why? You know why? It took fucking Dorian to tell him he fucking got a fat cut. And that's what it took for him to say, "Fuck it, I got to start."
My coach.
Let me. I want to see.
I was baptized over there in Birmingham that day, so he became my pastor.
I want to see you come down to 240.
He became my pastor. 240.
240 lean.
Oh.
240 lean for you now? That's still heavy, bro. Trust me.
I haven't seen 240 since I was competing. I've been in 258.
It's time. Listen.
But now I'm 277, dude. That's crazy.
And it's not a good 277. I can tell you that. From a friend to a friend. Man. It's not a good looking 277. Your ass is out. Your gut is out. You're standing there like when you listen, you saw me and Robbie Cheng sitting at the table Saturday.
Who what?
But where you at the sushi bar. You saw me and Robin Cheng sitting there Saturday?
Yeah.
You were talking to someone at the sushi bar. You were standing there leaning on the fucking chair. I said, Robin, look at fucking Chris. I said, don't this motherfucker right now look just like a silverback gorilla standing there?
That's family. Family. My whole family look like that.
Yeah, but ass out, back short.
We got glutes. I never shoot. I never did one injection in my glute. I did one at the beginning. I never did it again because my
Where did you put it?
Everywhere else I could do it.
Yeah. So what was your favorite spot?
Shoulders.
Okay.
Yeah,
you didn't fuck your shoulders up, so that was smart.
Shoulders.
See, I never did shoulders before. Never did the shoulders.
God. That was my go-to.
I put in the lats, and if I don't have somebody to do it for me, it's not going to get done. Fucking my Vinstrol, I put in my fucking tries and buys.
Yeah.
With a
didn't-
little insulin syringe. With a little insulin syringe. That's it.
Yeah.
If you,
Okay,
if
but
I-
is there, and how many was that, a CC?
yeah.
Did you ever go more than a CC in an area?
Milos fucking one time asked me to do 3 cc's. I did that
Holy
one time.
shit.
I
But
swear.
don't you think that's an issue also, that somebody's got
Probably, yeah.
too much in one particular area?
Listen, I looked at that shit one time, and it's 3 syringes because it's just an insulin syringe. It's U100. So it's only one. I had to do this 3 times. I fucking did that maybe once or twice. And then it was 1 every time, and that was it. Next time, it was the next day time, it was the other arm. I would never do it. I couldn't do it. Milos used to he used to come to my room, make sure I do the shots.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because there's
You know how many times he had to come over and do it for me because he know if he's not doing it, I'm not going to get it done.
yeah, exactly.
I'll skip him.
I know that I got ready for some shows as I was doing 10 a year, as you know. I was dreading that part of it. And I was like, man, I don't even want to do one. And I would just sit him there for a couple of days, and I just go to the gym. I just look at him, and I was like, I didn't want to do it already. And I had a whole show to.
I feel you on that. And some people is the exact opposite. They can't fucking wait. I remember I don't even know if I can say that because he said, I don't know if he said that to me in confidence or not.
Yeah, probably. Don't say it anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to just say this. A very well-known bodybuilder who's no longer competing. Switch coaches. I'm not going to say from what coach to what coach because that would give it away. And he told me why. I had a conversation with him and he said, man, I had to fucking pin myself 8 times a day.
Holy shit.
Good Lord.
Imagine 8 times a day.
That's ludicrous. I mean, I never heard such a thing.
Yeah, but there's people that do it every day, still to this day.
Straight face in my face, he told me that. And now with the new coach, he said this is so fucking easy.
But
It's only 3 a day.
also this, Dennis.
It's only 3 a day, huh?
Dennis. Also, there's so many wannabe coaches. I don't know why everybody want to be a coach. I don't know why everybody want to be a
Some
trainer.
people don't want to be a coach. Some people just want to help. You know, when somebody comes to you.
Yeah, but some people do it for different reasons.
It's the same with you. If somebody comes to you and you see the guy has a talent and he's coming asking you for questions, you don't tell him. You don't give him the advice that he's looking for.
Well, I mean, sometimes I'm just like,
Sometimes you want to get paid. I understand that too. But don't you? This is what we do. When somebody comes, you give him the advice because you don't care. I'd rather have him do it. I mean, and we're not doctors. It's not like
they don't want to. I just feel like they think that that's the way, that's the only way. And I keep telling people like that, you know, whatever, it's going to help you stay big while you lose weight, whatever, but it's not going to be a magic thing that's going to take you from here to winning the Olympia just because you want to.
You know what? These young kids don't believe that when you say that.
I know they don't.
I had people look at me and tell me that I'm lying.
But why did everybody, like, you just learned one exercise today, you did one show in your life, but you want to be a coach? Like that boggles my mind.
That's another thing. As soon as they hire a coach with a name, they get their fucking protocol. The next day they put on their Instagram online coach.
Selling online coach. I know. And and then I worked with a lot of bodybuilders that they just start improving their personal training business, and they just start like, then next you know, they're not even gonna do a show. They're just improving their business stuff. Some people just want to do that.
I'm officially done coaching. I said I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
now. I'm literally done. I focus on my shows. I focus on promoting shows, and I don't have to fucking put up with no attitudes. I don't have to put up with no fucking lies.
When you're gonna make
I don't have to put up with people blaming me for them not following.
Classic.
Yeah, because you don't know what's happening when you don't see them either.
Exactly. I'm tired of putting up with people blaming me for them not following the fucking protocol. You know what I'm saying? I had guys, and when you ask, I follow everything 100%. Then I go on the fucking girlfriend's fucking Instagram and I see him she's fucking taking the fucking story of him eating a fucking burger.
Yeah. All of that. All of that.
He's telling me he's following everything to the T. I said, okay, I didn't know you had burgers on the fucking menu.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk business. Chris, let's convince Dennis to organize
let's talk business.
Old school old school round table classic, and then old school round table training camps.
Training
And
camps. I was
Old school judging. And old school judging at the.
No, but a training
Yeah, I
camp.
gotta talk about judging. Hey, listen, I started, but you guys always stop me because I talk too much. Judging, okay? They know what they're looking for. They put everything. We are looking this body part, this pose. They put everything together, and I think they're professional judges. Know exactly what they're looking for. We are still fans, and we are still maybe biased this, biased that, and I want this, I want that. You know, I think the judging was very, very good. I could see if I would be judged that I would maybe come up with decision that they came up with. I'm not so, you know, I wanted SAMSON to win and HADI couldn't win.
Should the judges be more transparent and publicize each individual scores?
I am for it. Listen, because UFC and boxing, right?
You
They
cannot
have,
compare with the different
but
sports.
every judge, every round, they score it. And
There's
there's no
only
reason
three.
not to.
There's
I
only
mean,
3 judges, so that's a lot easier. But do you think it would make sense
they
for
would.
the judges to literally open up and say, here, this is judge number so-and-so, he had this board, so people can see? Or do you think this would be too much
I
drama?
think it would be good, but I don't know if for whatever reason they don't want to maybe do it. I understand. That's how back in the day was. They didn't want to do it, so I understand.
Never
But
did it, right? They never did it, right?
they never, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did it at one point.
Yes, she did.
I remember we asked for, but they don't put no names.
Oh. They did 81 when Jim Mannion wanted Danny Padilla to win. I remember, right? He was the only one that put Padilla all the way to first place, and there was like each judge, and round by round. Yeah, that was back in the 80s, and then
I just remember that one point when I don't know who complained about Wayne D'Amelia, and then we got the score sheets, but there was no name from the judge on the sheet. It was just the individual sheets you could see, but you don't know who it was.
For protection?
I don't know.
No, hey, listen, Tyler Mannion would come to anyone and explain exactly what they need to do, what they saw. Okay. Yes.
Who's this? This Chris?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
I had it on personal.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Many judges come to the athletes and explain what they need to improve, which pose they didn't hit it right.
Feedback, yeah, absolutely. And Sandy Williams too. She stands there for hours after the show.
Yes, unbelievable. I never asked back in the day. Never, ever.
Yeah, but you know, as an athlete, you want to know why sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
What can I do to get better? What is it that helped me back? What, you know, if you get that information, you know what you got to do. And if it's the same judges all the time, that's when you want to know. If it's different judges, it doesn't make sense for you to ask judges because next time it's a different panel. Different eyes, different opinions, different fucking outcome. You never know.
Yeah, we didn't talk about 212.
Yeah. Let's get there real quick.
Yeah.
Sean Clarida got beat by Keone. We expected it if Keone is in shape that he would win 212.
Mm-hmm.
Was he 100%? No, I don't think
Best
so.
he's ever been.
But he was the best he's ever been, exactly. And I think that was good enough for them to give it to him. Now, what does that tell you? That tells me that he's no longer, as long as he brings that condition that he had, nobody can beat him.
So
He can be on a long run because
what
he
I
just has
felt,
to bring what he brought. And if he gets even better, can you imagine? It's over.
He can go to the Open.
Good. He could do what Derek did.
he said he wants to eventually go to the Open. I think he could be really good in the Open.
Yeah, he can do exactly what Derek did.
He could do really good in the Open. I think he could even probably at this point be, you know, because with his width of his back.
To beat Derek, you want to say he could be Mr. Olympia in the Open.
I didn't say Mr. Olympia Open, but he could be one of the best in the world for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, to have that shape is just like it's not every day you see that.
Huh.
Not
Who has
everybody.
a better shape, Derek or Keone?
Shit, probably maybe Keone.
I think Keone too. I think Keone is better. Derek is a little bit drier from the back, but he doesn't have more back detail.
Shape.
Shape, Keone all day. I don't like Keone's abs too much.
Yeah.
If he would control them better, I think it would look better. If he get that under control.
But let me tell you this: when he
Shape
hit,
is unbelievable. It doesn't matter what pose.
when he hit that ab and thigh,
On the side.
Yeah, he didn't do an ab and thigh shot either.
but listen, when he raised the arm up and come with the quad and that serratus and oblique, and they both did it at the same time on the same side, and they had a clear view that he leveled the playing field in that shot, because that was a killer shot for the former champ before, and he leveled that playing field.
Yeah.
And then the back, and for some reason,
he has better shape and is much bigger than.
and for some reason, when they hit the last spread, Sean's lats didn't open up that much, and then Keon's just really opened up.
Yeah, but I gotta say this, and Sean, I saw him Saturday night at the remember he came by the table. Were you already there when he came by the table at the banquet?
No,
No, I wasn't.
That was before you came. And I told him, I said, "How you feel?" He said, "Man, I'm great, man. This dude has unbelievable."
He said that is unbelievable.
He took the loss, he took that thing, and he has nothing bad to say. He said he was in good spirit, you know, and
I did talk to him then. Yeah,
I really gotta say, because you know when you win the Olympia and you lose it, you know, you kind of like, you know, that sucks. Look at HADI. I don't fucking think anything of HADI for him walking off stage. I can get it. I know I'm a fucking sore loser too. If you work hard for something and you want to win, you do shit like this. And this is nothing. I don't think he did that to disrespect the people. I think he was just ready to get out. He said, "I'm out of here."
had enough. Huh?
He congratulated him, accepted the medal, took a picture. He just, after that first picture, he didn't want
But
to
you still gotta stand there.
let me get out of here.
At that level.
Yeah.
At that
So
level. But then, listen, do you think that excited his fans to go ballistic on Derek? Like he was in disapproval?
You're going ballistic on everybody, man. Even I post something about the podcast, you know, and I get more comments about fucking HADI got robbed.
Yeah,
Like,
me too. But they act like you got something to do with it, and I was like, oh, God is gonna curse this sport.
Those are those diehard. Those are those diehard.
God has nothing to do with this
Those are
sport.
the diehard fans that don't even know bodybuilding. It's not like his friends. Those guys don't even know bodybuilding.
And I said, don't tell me your God wants people up there in these posing trunks. So just stop it with that.
I mentioned this. HADI could have arguably be 4-time Mr. Olympia right now. He could have.
Yeah, I said that many times. He could have.
He only won once.
Yeah. Will he win again?
But we could say that all down the line.
Listen,
The sport though.
He's gonna come back next year stronger than ever. You know,
And
that's his
then I would say let it be. Like let him come back fucking hard. Again, he's got a way back into the United States. He's been coming here every year.
So what does he have to do to win it again? He has to have a back detail like Derek?
Back detail. I mean, he has to improve from the back.
He's gotta have to,
but is that all he has to do?
I think so.
and those legs got to be hard.
But that's
His legs are hard,
and
man.
then,
You saying all his legs are hard?
I didn't like his legs, the hardness. No. And then I'm gonna put some
His
stuff.
legs were fucking big and hard. And standing next to Derek, they looked even bigger.
but look at that.
Some shows, some shots. I saw some shots that made Derek look bigger. I saw some shots that made HADI look bigger.
Only shot Derek looked bigger.
I saw some shots that had Samson looking amazing, and probably could have won from that shot. It just all depends on the shot.
What shot did Derek look bigger than HADI?
Just it was like one that was a little bit further away, and I could see the.
What shot was it though?
It was a front double.
Yeah, that's the only shot where he can look as big as HADI. All the other shots.
Some that was close up on Samson.
I mean, it's
and I
not
was like, damn,
listen,
like Samson had all this coming across.
I know it's not like there's 50 pounds between those guys, man. It might be 5 to 10 pounds different, but the detail that he had from the front made him look so much bigger. and turn around, it was the exact opposite, you know. So I don't think Hadi and Derek, I think they pretty much the same weight. Maybe 5 pounds,
Yeah.
10 max.
Yeah, they're very
Well,
close.
they were 212 champions.
Yeah.
Two world, 212 competitors.
So
But
this is not-
yeah, but I mean, but yeah, but
shit. Oh, we already passed an hour and a half. You guys taking my
Yeah.
sleep.
hey,
Yeah.
man, hey, I want to before we go, I'm gonna give a shout out to my C3 TV. Instagram is fucking blowing up. I had like 3 million views on that one thing I did. Just me eating the food backstage with backstage at Olympia.
You getting paid for that, or you just telling me that you got 3 million views?
Yeah, we're getting paid for that.
Good.
My team.
Probably
Oh,
said you
I'm putting together more stuff.
Eating
Did
food.
you monetize the channel?
Yeah, I'm eating food backstage. It was like some pancakes and some jam on it or some shit. I was just carving up extra.
Did you monetize
I
your?
was
Did
getting
you
views, man.
monetize your account, Milos?
Sorry?
Did you monetize your Instagram?
No.
Oh, he's looking at me like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Yeah, no. I mean, because they demonetized me for whatever it is. Like I broke the community
rules?
rules or something.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
No, on the Instagram too. You know, I got to like
So you were monetized before.
I was, yeah. I got
Oh,
like
okay.
when we talk about it, when you were posting videos.
Yeah, but you know
on
why?
Instagram,
You know why you probably have that problem? Because you repost everything.
I repost many things, yeah.
Man, that's how you break the rules.
But no, and then I post my own from my videos, you know, 1993 shit, my video from my camera, and they say against the community rules. Yeah.
In
had
some
one-
in some
you probably
countries,
had-
right?
You probably had one nut hanging out the fucking
No,
trunk.
never.
Hey man, I'm gonna be in Holland next week when we get on.
You be in
Yeah.
Holland. What you doing in
I'll
Holland?
be in- I'm
We
gonna
have a
go.
Romania show on Sunday,
I'm gonna go and train that
and
next.
SAMSON is competing. You know,
Are you going?
no,
I'm
no,
going to-
I'm going to MSG, Madison Square Garden, right?
right.
Remember? But it's SAMSON, Nathan Diasha, Behruz, last year's champion. It's Horse MD. There's Foda, Mohammed Foda.
Mohammed Foda looks really good.
Yeah,
I don't I don't know what he looks like standing next to other guys, but by himself, he looks great.
Yeah, he's very, very good. It's gonna be a good show. Shit. And then Prague following week, and I'm sure the Crease is gonna do that one.
Mm-hmm. He's probably going to do
Yeah,
Romania.
I'll be at the Prague show with Rubio.
Who?
Rubio, the guy next Zilla, they call him.
Oh,
So tell me, who you training in Holland?
I'm training Rubio Mascato.
Oh, you training? Are you just for Yama Labs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna stay out there and go to Dubai and then to Sweden.
Oh,
December.
well, I see you. I see you. You going to the muscle show?
Yeah.
I'll see you there because I got a booth there.
Yep. You're gonna
No,
see
I
my new and improved body.
I hope so. Shit,
I
I
need
can't
some
wait.
I need some products. I need some fat burning additives.
You need to call your fucking Yama Labs and tell them to send you a box. Fucking promote shit. Use it. Don't just promote it.
Exactly. Using it.
So I hope you're flying in fucking business class to Holland, man. I hope you're not. They're not
Yeah,
putting-
yeah. On United.
Hoping up you're putting you now. I hope they're not putting you on the fucking wood bench.
No. I'm on United.
Yeah, yeah. Bring some
Well,
warm, man. It's cold.
I'm going to England. Yeah, it is cold, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's not cold.
I have a
It's
gas.
not cold, but once you go to Holland, this is more north. I mean, it's cooler than here. Now here it's about, I say probably in the 50s, low 50. At night in the 40s.
Jeez.
You go to Holland, this shit.
so Dennis, you have another show this weekend?
Yeah, now Saturday. Yeah,
Holy shit!
yeah.
How many
Then,
shows did
Are
this
you
year?
going to Sweden also, or just
Yeah, we
Dubai?
did 14.
14 shows. Mr.
Two
Are you
pro,
going to Sweden?
qualifier, 2 pro qualifiers and 12 regionals.
Holy shit!
Say what, Chris?
Are you going to Sweden also, or just Dubai?
No, why would I go to Sweden? What's in Sweden?
They have a similar situation from Dubai.
No, I'm going this week. I got a show here. Next week, I'm going to MC the show in Italy. And then the following week, I'm in Dubai for the muscle show. And then I'm going home. After that, I'm going straight on vacation. I'm going to go somewhere. The next podcast we do after I get home, I'm doing from the fucking beach. Best believe that.
Jeez. I would too.
Right.
Shit, I'm going straight. You can see me on a fucking.
I'm gonna be shaking some of your pockets with my cup. Sir.
Hey, Dennis, it's,
Milos, you just going to New York next week.
I'm going, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
What's the score in the game? Are you watching?
Yeah, I was watching. I put my phone right there. I was when you guys were talking. I was watching. Barcelona lost. I'm devastated.
Devastated.
Yeah, shit. It's gonna hurt me like 2-3 days. You know.
Do you follow what Ronaldo is doing in Saudi Arabia?
You know, I was a Messi fan always, right? So when you're a Messi fan, you kind of, you know, you like Ronaldo, but you don't.
That they made an offer to Messi too.
Yeah, no, and they made an offer to Kylian Mbappe, like for $1 billion or something.
Who? Kylian what?
Billion. Mbappe, you know, Kylian, the Paris Saint-Germain guy. I mean,
they offered him more money than Ronaldo.
Yeah,
Ronaldo got a 2-year contract, 500 million a year. So it's $1 billion for 2 years. And I read somewhere that they offered Messi 750 million a year. And keep in mind, I think this is only 11 games.
Yeah, I don't know, but listen, back
and it's like
you know how to
play the team by yourself.
I mean, if you get to like 100 million, you know, for a 3-year contract, that's like considerable. You know, back in the day, Bundesliga, Premier League,
100 million,
La Liga.
Oh, you mean for 3 years, 100 million? So
yeah, in Europe. Yeah.
But think about 500 million. 10 or 11 games. How much is he getting per game for 90 minutes?
I know, Jesus Christ.
And now he's playing for, is he playing for Miami?
No,
Yeah.
Messi, yeah.
Oh, Messi's in Miami, right?
How much do you think he's getting there? How much is he getting there?
I don't know, but it has to be comparable. There's some kind of business offers that he has percentage of everything. But did you watch boxing match Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou?
Of course, I rewatched it. I didn't watch it because my show was going on.
How did you score it?
I was getting paid while that was going on.
How?
So I watched it afterwards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you were doing your
Ngannou won that fight. In my eyes, he won that fight.
Yeah.
He did.
Of course, boxing fucking judges would never let that.
Yeah, but he had
look like somebody with his first fight would beat the fucking world champion that never lost.
But the thing is, though, he has a fight that they were trying to sign and get executed already back in Saudi. They're not gonna let him lose his title before he get to that fight, unless he get knocked unconscious.
I just heard today that the title wasn't even on the line.
It wasn't on the line, no.
So, but it would lose his.
It would have looked bad, and it would have hurt the sales.
It would look terrible. It's already in my eyes. He won anyways because
it already looks terrible. It looks terrible already.
Yeah. So you ready for Saturday, Milos?
Oh hell yeah!
Even though he's not even half as good as it's supposed to be.
I know, but it's still UFC, and Prohaska Pereira is going to be a crazy fight. And
you're going to the UFC because you want to watch him, but you're not going to Romania to fucking be with your athlete.
It was you know what is interesting? It was interesting that last year's Romania was exactly the same day with Madison Square Garden UFC, and I was texting him. I swear to God, I was texting him from the UFC, over there from the audience.
We got 2 guys in the show now.
I have 3. I have a.
You should be Romanian. You should be.
SAMSON is going.
You should be there for your athletes. You should give up the tickets. Chris and me, we going to fucking New York, right?
Yeah.
Shit, I can't. Oh shit, I would go.
It's just across the pond. 5 hours, you there?
What? 5 hours from where?
From Germany. 6
You
hours.
crazy as hell. You crazy as hell. No, it's just 7 hours.
Get you a jet flight.
Shit. 7 hours, 7.5 hours to New York. Anyways, listen, let's wrap this up because my ass is getting tired.
Go to sleep, man. All right.
It's way past my bedtime. You guys have, man, it's 9:49, man. Are you crazy? I done missed 2 hours of my sleep.
All right, guys. So
All right,
next
brother.
Tuesday,
Good to see you
are
guys.
we gonna have are we gonna have a Steve and maybe Tyler?
I'm on it, and I hopefully I can get both.
Oh, that would be so
That'd be
good.
great.
That would be awesome. At least one for 30 minutes, and then the other
Let's
one,
go,
or
Steve.
maybe together.
They could finally tell us, say, shut the fuck up when you don't know
Yeah,
what you're
I didn't want to push it for now because it's just a couple of days. I want to give him another week.
Come
Yeah.
home and chill.
Yeah, and next week would be okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to get Steve on before anybody else.
Well, let's tell him. Mark it. Text him.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right,
Take
guys.
care, man. God bless. Milos, be safe. Get to New York. And Chris, man, safe flight, man.
Thanks, guys.
Holland, and I'll see you in Dubai.
See you soon. See you in Dubai.
Peace out.